You ain't biased?
I ain't. When it comes to other people, I don't care about them.
Get him, O, man. That dude's crazy.
If it comes to Titans, I'm a little biased because I know the small things, you know. Casey boy, Casey funny.
All right, so welcome to episode 43. I'm pretty sure League with No Name podcast. It's your boy Beans. We got Cheese. We got J.A. playing Madden. We got Moose at some point, hopefully. This should be an interesting episode. Mostly draft stuff tonight, but before we get into that, just some convos we've been having in the chat. Earlier today, we saw that Atlanta was taking calls for Julio. We know nothing's going to happen until at least June or whenever they were saying. So, realistically, do you think Julio can possibly realistically get moved, Jay?
Yeah, honestly, not till after June 1st though, but because his cap hit is so crazy, I just don't see it right now. But you just never know, honestly. The league is funny how they get rid of star players. They say, they're a lifer, and then, if the money's right, they'll definitely do it. So if it's the right deal, Julio's definitely gone. But in my heart, I don't want to see it. But I know at a point in time it's going to come. And if we're going to get max value for him with our cap situation, then, we're going to have to. Because we're not going to win a championship right now. So if you can move Julio at the right price, man, I don't see why not.
So is there anything that could happen this weekend in the draft that'll tip you off and say, okay, they drafted this guy, they drafted this guy. I know Julio's going to be on the move because of what they did in the draft.
Honestly, even if we get Pitts, I don't see if we got him, there's not really nothing I don't see, why we can get rid of him now, because we can't anyway, just because of the money. But there's not a player where I think, if we drafted or someone else did, where I see us giving up Julio, because Julio's still Julio, when he's healthy. So I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I just don't see it. There's not a player in the draft where I think if it went a board went different or something. Nah, there's nothing I can see where I give Julio that. So, or I give Julio up. So nah.
So let me ask you this, Cheese. Based on his recent injury history, he's not quite the player that he was.
Cheese had him. He messed up the Cheese season.
A lot of players messed up my season. That was crazy.
What do you think the Falcons get in return for Julio at this point in his career? Cheese.
They can still get something. You could get either draft cap. You could get a good draft pick and a player, or you get a good draft pick. If they're trying to clean house, if he goes to a winner, you never really know. But he still has tremendous value. He's one of the greatest wide receivers ever. So, and he's not done. I say he got another 3-4 years in him. But like we said, health-wise, we just don't know. It's still Julio. So I think you can still get a decent pick, probably day 2 pick and a player. But honestly, I really don't see that happening, like Jay said, until June 1st. So who knows? Who knows what really the talks is about? I don't think he's going anywhere yet, but you can still get some good value for Julio. It's Julio. The name gonna get you a good pick. He just gotta be healthy. He might need that change of scenery, Might need to go a couple hours. I don't know what direction Tennessee is from Georgia, but I don't know.
Definitely.
I don't know. Jay, y'all got a new GM too?
Yeah, I got the dude from the Saints, the black GM Thierry Fontenot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Julio gone.
You never know how. No, it's not even that. I don't know. If he wants to fully rebuild, I feel like he just gotta go. Then that's when you get rid of Julio. But you can't do half and half. You can't rebuild this part, but then want to keep him. It don't work that way. It don't make no. If we're gonna do it, we gotta go full out.
So, is Julio still a top 5 receiver or top 10? Where is he at this point in his career? Where do you rank him?
Top 10. If
6 through 10. 6 through 10. If he's healthy, 6 through 10. Just because age and but But even when he was healthy, like he was still when he was like available, he was still putting up his numbers.
When healthy, I
He's
mean,
just,
you can't really.
Yeah.
You can't say a player's not in the top 10 because he's not healthy. I mean, he might do that for a year because he's like might have a torn ACL and he's not playing for the year. But you can't. If Pat Mahomes is healthy, is he a top 2 quarterback? Yes. If he's not healthy, he's still Patrick Mahomes. So
Yeah, I was.
I mean, if the season starts today, Julio's healthy.
Yeah, my question more so was like, my question more so was, is he still top 5 or is he now more of a top 10 guy?
He faded into that top 10. He was top 5, but there's some young dogs that came up. So, I mean, that's how it go. Randy was a top dog, and then he came to Tennessee. He automatically out the top 30. It happened. It happens. But, yeah, Julio's still top 10.
Another name that came up in the chat earlier, I don't even know what the context was, but I saw it. I know Jay don't like talking about him, but does Ertz have any value at this point? Like anymore? What happens with him? Where does he end up?
Oh my God, man. He did me
He's
dirty.
Yo, Jay, you got us next to the Bible? What's that you holding us up with?
Nah, it's holding up. Nah, it's just like a word or something. Nah, a Bible. Come on, T.
Why he laughing when I said Bible?
You funny.
Ertz? Nah, he doesn't. After the season he had last year, he doesn't have much value. They might swap some day 3 picks, or they might get a third and got to give up a 4th with Ertz. They gonna move up in the draft if Ertz goes. Ertz has no value. He used to be a top 3, top 5 tight end.
Yeah.
I said 2 years.
Bro, it changed quick.
Yeah, that
changed quick for him.
Real quick. It was Kelsey. It was Kelsey and Kittle, and then Cass was talking. I think it was when Gronk was retired. They threw him top 3, so it changed real quick. So, but after the last season and a half, he didn't have not last year, but the year before, he didn't have too good of a season. Or was that? I don't remember his numbers from the year before last, but last year he was injuries. He going into the last year of his contract.
I'm about to scrape him up, man. It's 14 zip, man.
No production.
Go ahead.
Funny. No production this year. He all set. They might day 3 pick at best, or they're gonna swap some picks. Sort of like what we fleeced the Eagles for DeMarco. I wish Moose was in here. I'll be ready for the low blows from Moose. You know what I mean?
We talk about the Eagles too much too.
Huh?
I get it. We talk about the Eagles too much though. They some bums.
Yeah, they got a big fan base, man. They be in the comments, so you got
delusion.
They're very delusional, but nah, Ertz is all set. He don't got nothing. His career done. He might have another average tight end season, 300, 400 yards, 5-6 touchdowns.
Jeez, 300 yards.
I mean, it depends where you go, but for a tight end, he might.
Yo, you got 300 yards is crazy.
He might give you some Jimmy Graham numbers. You know,
yeah, how many yards is that a game, bro?
I mean, he a tight end. It depends what system he go to, but then he all set.
That's less than 20 yards. Well, no, I gotta do it
bro,
again. 17 games now. I can't even break it.
All right. All right, 450. 450 in between 450, 550. Yeah. That's a solid
55, 50.
55. My boy Freaky Fred.
Now that that's a relatively good comparison. Just how they kind of fell from being one of the most dominant tight ends to
just off the face of the earth.
Yeah, just dropping off in a matter of.
What Jimmy left the Saints and bummed it out, or he was on the Saints and bummed it out too?
I think
he was a top dog on the Saints.
Yeah, and I think once he went to Seattle, that's when he slowly started to fall off.
When was he with y'all? Because I know he was with y'all real quick, right?
Yeah, before this season, past 2 seasons before this one, he was with us, and he didn't really do much at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, pat myself on the back, man. Yeah, that was a good comparison.
You
said it wasn't even on purpose?
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose. The other conversation that we had in this chat, which got a little bit intense, was we were talking about first off who was better out of Jair and Ramsey as corners, and if he's not better, is he at least in the same league as Jalen?
Definitely same league. Ramsey's the best corner, but it's same league, bro. It's definitely same league.
Cheese.
It's just
Cheese said.
yeah.
Tell people why you said no, Cheese.
I just think people hate the Packers, so it
I don't
carries
hate
Jair
the
in.
Packers. I don't hate the Packers. I think Jair is
He quietly does it.
him.
Like
Him and Tre'Davious White are the next best thing when it comes to corners in the NFL. But from what I'm saying is, he's up and coming. But to put him in the same breath of the cornerbacks like Stephon Gilmore and Ramsey, who's been doing it for longer, he's not there yet. He's had two. He had one great season and one very good season. Stephon Gilmore just got Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. Ramsey is the only one to lock down DK Metcalf. Ramsey is easily the best corner. Jair, he's next up. I simply said, if he gives me another good season, it doesn't even have to be as good as the one he had last year. Then he'd be in the same breath. Because the year before, it was an okay season.
What was okay?
No, the year like 3 years ago, okay season.
His first season was good. His second season was very good, and his last season was elite. Every year.
Okay. So you had two at least very good seasons.
Yeah.
That don't put you in the same breath with Ramsey. I'm sorry. That don't put you in the same breath as Ramsey. Ramsey's been in the league for what? For like 6-7 years? And he's been a top dog since rookie years.
At this moment, you line him up playing the same guys. Is he not in the same league? Regardless of if he only been in the league 3 years, he only been here
in the same league, bro.
No, I'm not giving it to him that early.
No, I seen Packers could have got smoked in the NFC. What was that? NFC was the NFC championship game
against who, the Bucks?
King was getting smoked up.
If they didn't make that switch, Evans would have had 200 easy. 200 easy. You put Jair on him, Packers. Granted, they made mistakes on offense too, and they found King on other guys, but he shut Mike Evans out for the rest of the game. He did all that in the first quarter. I think he had like one more catch. That was like
how many times last year did Mike Evans have 2 receptions, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns? He had that at least twice. That's what Mike Evans.
You got to think about what he had. Like,
so if you got Jair Alexander on one side and Kevin King on one side, and you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who you gonna pick on? If I'm Brady, you know where I'm going.
Exactly, but at the same time, he still had targets. He had no catches. Right. It wasn't like they just went to Godwin. No,
that happens. That happens. Who was one of the best wide receivers? Was DK Metcalf not one of the best wide receivers last year?
So it was Ridley, bro.
He was on your schedule, so you can't say, "Well, Jalen's the only one who shut him down." We didn't play him, so.
Yeah.
Bro,
I seen Ridley from my own eyes on Monday Night Football go for 0 catches, 0 yards, bro. Guarded by him.
Really ain't all that. Really ain't special. Really ain't special.
Ridley's season was special.
Really not special. He not top dog material.
I can't even talk about your receivers because Corey Davis.
I got one dog. Corey Davis going. He that's Gabe problem.
What did he do to AJ though? What was AJ's stat line against us?
We didn't even do nothing. It was snowing. What?
I'm about to run the clock out, yo. This dude, I'm playing a bum. I'm about to run the clock out.
Bro, snowing or not, A-Rod lit y'all up in the snow. It's not like you can't throw in the snow.
Don't say, both had the snow. Don't say
that
4,000-yard passer had. That 4,000-yard passer had 112 yards. I don't want to hear it.
I mean,
we got cheated anyway.
Tay was floating on that snow, boy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's not talk about Tay.
And them DBs that y'all got rid of.
Yo, he was playing with Adoree. That was Adoree's second game back. We ain't had no chance. But Tay different. Come on now. Tay feet work different. That's not even fair. I wouldn't even talk.
That ain't fair. Yeah.
What? Nah, talking about Tay? That ain't fair.
Tay no matter what, bro. Tay, hey. It's Tay. That force, bro.
I don't know. It depends.
We off subject, but he's projected 25 points a game, bro. Tatum. That's quarterback numbers for bum, bro.
Y'all gonna get a wide receiver first round?
I doubt it. I would prefer to get a corner since we're talking about it to the first round, or a defensive lineman. One of them we can get. I think it's relatively deep at wide receiver, so it don't have to be first round, but second or third, we need to get somebody to go on the other side of tech.
I don't know why y'all ain't just do that in free agency. Like, I don't what y'all so mad at, bro? Like, why don't y'all want to participate?
We had a bad cap situation, so.
Oh, true. That is. But you signed, you didn't have to. I mean, I know you like Jones, but you didn't have to re-sign him.
I mean, we did.
That's Brett.
He definitely.
He's a big part of your team, though. When he's rolling, you can't be stopped.
And he can be used out as a wide receiver at times. He's super versatile, so I understand why they wanted to hold on to him.
That's because he's the second best wide receiver y'all got.
He might be.
I wouldn't look. AJ Dillon and what y'all let whatchamacallit go?
Williams, yeah.
Yeah. I would have paid Williams, take this 2-3 year deal, get this little $5-6 million.
But it's kind of hard because Dillon is not a threat out the back.
Moose still ain't show up, huh? Moose still, bro. Yeah, suspend Moose.
Another no call, no show.
Nah, he over here getting revenge. You know him. You think of his next get back.
You're sick.
It was crazy.
And he posted in chat, yeah. Nobody said nothing for him to respond. He just said, yeah. When Jay said, give me 5 more minutes, I'm just jotting something down. He said, yeah. I just shook my head at that, but I was about to put it in the eyes, and that's when O said, my fault, I was doing something. But yeah, Moose all set. Call Gary. Call Gary.
We got Seattle on the schedule this year, so you'll get to see Jair and DK, and after that,
that'd be nice. Yeah,
you will be a believer after that.
All I said was give me another good season. That's all I said. Give me another good season. Ramsey ain't have an off season since he got in this motherfucker. Ramsey has not had an off season since he got in the league, and he's going to year 7. Don't do that. I'm not giving this man
a great run, but player for player.
Ain't no great run. His run ain't over. He's having a great run.
Right, and so is Jair. He's only getting better every year.
Wait, hold on. The screen too little. This is Ramsey's run. This is Jair's run. That's all I said is get me right here, and you in the same
He ain't been
breath.
in the league that long, though. Jair ain't been in the league as long as Ramsey yet.
That was my point. That's all I was saying. He ain't been in the league that long.
But his body of work so far is amazing.
That's like putting DK in the same breath as DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not doing that. DK's a great talent. DeAndre's a great talent. But DeAndre's body of work for as long as he's been in the league compared to DK in this short amount of time, it was great. But he just hasn't been doing it long enough. That's all I was saying. I know he's next up. Him and Tre'Davious White is next up, hands down.
I get the comparison, but I don't necessarily love the comparison because D-Hop is just better. It's not that he
fumbled it.
Yeah, Ramsey's just better. Ramsey's the best corner in the game. We're just talking about putting him in the same breath.
A little bit. He is better by a little bit. But once again, Jair has done in the past 2 years just as good. His numbers have been just as good, if not better, in some categories than Ramsey. So
in 2 years.
For the past 2 years, yeah.
That's just 2 years. That's just 2 years.
Okay.
That's not enough when Ramsey been in the league for 7, going into 7.
Once again, I understand your point. You're talking about the longevity. I'm talking about the eye test right now.
But that's how you got to put it. Because if you're gonna say over the 2 years, why can't we go any further? Because he's been in the league longer than 2.
He's been in the 3.
He's going to the year 4. So go back to Ramsey a year before that. He's light years ahead of him from
Ramsey's rookie year. He was elite. I don't know.
No. Jair's rookie year compared to that year that Ramsey was in there. Because you're saying the last 2 years. Now, right. do Jair's whole career in the NFL last 3 years.
But my point is, why are we comparing his rookie year? If you're going to compare rookie years, then compare him to what he was doing at that point in his career.
You can't do that because Ramsey's been in the league longer. So you're leaving out Ramsey's years, and he's been the top dog since.
No, he hasn't been the top dog since. But
he's been the top dog.
What's go had a better year than him a couple years ago? Who got
Gilmore?
Yes.
Yes, Gilmore.
Gilmore was better than him.
And who did I say? I'm not going to put in the same breath.
I'm simply saying, you just said he was the top dog. I'm telling you, no, he wasn't the top dog.
Why wasn't he?
Because Gilmore was better.
So if you have one better season, you're better than everybody?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, on a season-by-season basis, you're going to say he was the top dog this year versus –
But listen. I'm talking about being the top dog over a certain amount of years.
The most consistent person over that time, you could say that, sure. But you can't say he's the top dog over this. No, it
yes,
don't
he is.
All right.
So who's the best wide receiver? Who's the best wide receiver in NFL
right now?
Yeah.
Tay.
Tay's the best wide receiver in NFL
right now. Yeah, but D Hop has been the most consistent.
Okay, so who's the best quarterback in the NFL?
I would have to think about it. I don't know off the top of my head who, because it could be Pat, it could be A-Rod. It's
MVP talk.
If you want to talk about consistency, Pat only had what? How many good years?
It's halftime. I'm gonna join in soon. Though. Go ahead, y'all keep going.
He said it's halftime. Go ahead.
What's the answer? Are you looking at me like I said something crazy? What's the answer?
Pat is the top dog.
But if you want to talk about consistency, like you were talking about with Ramsey, A-Rod been doing it longer at the high level than Pat.
So how you gonna give it to A-Rod?
I'm not. You just said I'm wrong. So that goes against your point.
No. I'm saying
with the short run is
Mahomes doesn't have to have the best numbers to be considered the best. But who's the best running back in the NFL?
This moment, it's hard to say because there's a
lot. No, it ain't hard to say. It ain't hard to say. We know who the top dog is.
I don't know who the top dog is because if you're talking about your boy can't do nothing out the backfield. He can't catch. There's way more running backs.
He don't have to.
So he's not a complete. He's not.
Adrian Peterson wasn't either.
And that's fine. But who was he in the league at the same time as?
Chris Johnson. Johnson, another 2,000-yard runner.
You want to compare Adrian Peterson to Chris Johnson? Like, come on.
No. I'm comparing the type of running back he is and what he was in the league. Adrian Peterson could not catch out the backfield. Was he ever the best running back in the NFL? Yes. You don't have to be a complete running back to be the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, only if there's not a bunch of other running backs that can do more than you. If you put Adrian Peterson's best seasons right now, then they would be more comparable to some of the guys that are out right now because they could do more than him.
Doing more doesn't mean you're even as valuable.
This exactly what we're talking about with Aaron Jones. Why we're not going to let him go? He's not the top running back, but he's more versatile than Derrick Henry.
And that's why y'all can't get past where y'all can't get past. That's the reason.
Aaron Jones,
that's the reason y'all can't get past where y'all get past.
Did you watch when we lost every year?
Did you watch it?
Bro, every year, y'all got a hole on the opposite side of the tag. You can't put Aaron Jones out there. What? And think it's okay.
We're only there.
He's versatile. He's versatile, but he can't be your second. He can't be your second wide receiver.
Nobody said he had to be the number 2 wide receiver. I'm saying he's way more versatile, increasing his value.
Nobody has more value than Derrick Henry. Nobody has more value than Derrick Henry.
We can agree to disagree.
He is our offense.
We can agree to disagree.
Bro, you don't have to be versatile to be the best. Adrian Peterson proved that. Derrick Henry proved that.
Completely missing my point. Adrian Peterson, if he was starting in this era with all the running backs that could do all the other stuff, he might not have been the best year in and year out.
You're bugging.
Okay.
He ran for 2,000 yards over a torn ACL. I don't care what you could do out the passing game.
Okay.
And Christian McCaffrey can do whatever he wants. He can't do that. His body is different. You can't. That's generational talent. You can name any running back. Christian McCaffrey can't last. Dalvin Cook can't last. He get hurt every year. These are all running backs who can catch out the backfield and run in between the tackles, but they can't last. They don't have the body to do it. Ronald Jones could do the same. He doesn't have the body to do it. All those running backs can't take the hits that the big running backs can take. and they don't last for that reason. AP could take that, whether he can catch out the backfield or not.
McCaffrey has missed what, 1 year? Or the majority of 1 year?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and how many years? And how many years?
I don't know. What's this? His third year, fourth?
This got to be going into year 4.
Okay, so he's missed. And Adrian Peterson has missed time. It's not like he was there every season. He just came off the ACL.
He tore up, and he came back and ran for 2,000.
The season after, but he had to miss time.
The season after he tore his ACL, he came back and ran for 2,000.
Okay, so we can't judge McCaffrey until we see what he does off this injury.
Bruh, he still got to catch up to AP. AP rookie year, he got the rushing title.
That's great, but AP can't do half the stuff that C-Mac can do. Look at the total yardage. You want to just look at rushing yards. Look at the total yardage.
What does the total yardage do if you can't last?
How can you say he can't last? He missed part of 1 season. That's it.
He missed. No, he didn't miss part of. He missed at least 10 games last year.
Oh, what I'm saying is, you just
and he's going into year 4.
Adrian Peterson is not indispensable because you just said he tore ACL.
And he came back and ran for 2,000.
The next year. So
the injury don't matter. He ran for 2,000. How many games did he miss?
Bro, I'm assuming it was a lot. It was ACL.
It wasn't a lot. He did not miss a lot of time when he ran for 2,000. The year before he ran for 2,000. He probably got – I think he got hurt like week 12, came back in the offseason and ran for 2,000 yards.
So he missed at least 5 games. And then
probably 4.
He made the playoffs, then he missed another game.
Probably didn't make the playoffs. They had Teddy Bridgewater.
So
or Christian Ponder.
Yo, chill.
They had Christian Ponder and Teddy Bridgewater.
We can move on because you clearly you're stuck in your Derrick Henry mode.
Bro, I'm not stuck in my Derrick Henry mode. I'm using AP as an example. It don't got nothing to do with Derrick Henry. You just don't have to be an all-around back to be the best back.
You don't have to be, but in this era, there are other backs that can be considered better than him because they can do way more than him. We've seen Derrick Henry get shut down in the run game, and if he does, he don't contribute much to those games because he can't do nothing else.
No, he doesn't contribute when we're down.
Why not? Because
we're a run-first team.
That's you just made my point for me. If y'all are down, what does he do for you? Nothing, because he can't catch the ball out the backfield.
And that doesn't mean he's not better.
All right, you got it.
That doesn't mean he's not better.
Bro. Goodness gracious. I don't even know what we're supposed to be talking about next.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
Shut up. You need to get a running back before you talk.
Who told me?
Yeah. Tell your boy Art. Yeah.
That don't insult me, bro.
That's my boy.
You're not good.
All right, so we didn't even really get into any draft stuff. Let's try to go. What's your favorite draft moment for the Titans, Cheese?
Favorite draft moment? When we pick my favorite players, I don't know. I would probably say my favorite one.
I hate you.
My favorite one, when we drafted Chris Johnson, because that's my favorite Titan.
You said or your least favorite in the chat. So is there a moment that you hate? That's why you brought that up?
Yeah. I can speak on that more. I can talk about my favorite.
Okay, what's your least favorite?
We drafted Kevin Dyson and passed on Randy Moss. That's
crazy.
And it was only 3 wide receivers taken in the first round. Kevin Dyson was the first one at like pick 16. Randy Moss was like pick 21 and 22. And there was some dude that had the last pick with Denver. Had the last wide receiver in the first round. And, Randy Moss got in that trouble at Marshall, off the field stuff. So he slid in the first, but we get a Super Bowl. We got a Super Bowl if we get Randy Moss. That McNair, Randy Moss, and Eddie George, ain't nothing to reach for. We ain't reaching for the first. We already up. We already up against the Rams. You can send whatever you want. Adam Archuleta, Dre Bly, come get this work. It don't matter. But
that made me think when Moose had bought the computer and they played that game.
Moosa's sicko. Moosa's a sicko.
What about you, Jay? What's your favorite or least favorite, whatever route you want to go, draft moment, Falcons?
Oh, favorite is definitely when we traded for Julio.
I
Easily.
was about to
Like,
say that. Yeah.
you gave up so much draft capital, and then, like, you don't really see picks really pan out when you give up so much for a player. We moved up to 6, I believe, that year. Gave away so much. And honestly, I didn't think, like we always said, like, we had Roddy Wright already. So I'm like, all right, you get Julio. Like, now, like, hey, you crop, you top of the crop now in the NFC. And he was for a while. We had off years, but that's definitely the best. Least is definitely probably when we got Peter Collins. It was a tackle, bro, but he was so terrible. Like, it was. I don't know why. I think it was like 2012 draft too. It's probably one of the worst drafts in like team history. It was just Lamar Holmes. Like, it was just bad, bro. Like, it was just. Or when we got Vic Beasley too. Like, yeah, like he had that one good year. He led the league in sacks, and then bro just couldn't.
Was that his rookie year?
Nah, like his second year when we had Dwight Freeney on the team.
So let's jump back in. Oh yeah, so you was talking about Julio, and that was a great trade. I think somebody posted in the chat the other day what all those picks that y'all gave up ended up turning into for.
It's like Brandon Weeden or something.
Yeah,
It was.
It didn't turn into anything. So I mean, at the end of the day, either way you won, but you really won. You see what those picks ended up turning into.
Definitely, it's like a double win, honestly, to get Julio and then to have those Browns not even pan out to be anything. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think of course for me, my best moment would be just watching A-Rod slide all that time and ended up getting drafted to us that late. And we've seen what his career is from there. So that was definitely a great moment. I think my worst moment, and maybe just because it's so fresh in my mind, but what we did last year still makes no sense.
Drafting 2 guards in a row?
Nah,
yeah, honestly,
our offensive line is always one of the best in the league, so I don't necessarily mind, but trading up to draft Jordan Love still makes zero sense to me. So that's probably the one move that I hate more than anything that I've seen over the past 10, 15 years. It just doesn't make sense. And now I'm seeing that they might end up trading him. I mean, I don't know how realistic that is, but it's a waste.
That's a rumor.
Somebody posted that in the chat the other day that they saw something about him getting traded to the Pats.
I don't get no service at work, man. I don't even be seeing chat.
Good. We don't need.
That's why you got rim like that. Yeah, that's why your rim be up to the world now.
So going into the draft, where you are now, let's just say there's no trade. Staying in the position that you're in right now, who do you expect for your team to take round one? We can start with you, Cheese.
Hopefully it's Rashad Bateman, a wide receiver from Minnesota. If not,
Thirsty.
You said thirsty?
Yeah, you thirsty.
Yeah, that's my boy. If not, we already know the top 2 corners ain't going to be there. But probably Greg Newsome, the corner from Northwestern. That's probably be my only 2. Those are the only 2 I want in the first round if they're there.
Yeah.
But he said no trades. I want to trade back if we can't get Rashad Bateman. If we could trade back and get Terrace Marshall from LSU.
What's
Just get some
right now?
We had 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate that's the price of being good. Honestly, if we stay at 4, we could go so many different ways too. If we stay at 4, I still don't know who, but it's between Trey Lance and Justin Fields.
If you had to say right now, what do you think the organization is going to do? Are they looking for the future quarterback right now, or are they trying to win right now with Pitts?
Yo, I don't know because it's a new regime, so like I don't even know. Like they haven't really, and they don't give out a lot of like tidbits and like press conferences. They don't say much, so they just playing everything. You know what I mean? They just going with the flow. Honestly, they ain't giving us. Oh, what's up? Oh, you gonna throw that? Oh, he got me. He got me.
That's what happens when your podcast.
Yeah. Now I'm good. Nah, honestly, I don't even know. Like the new regime, this is their first time together. I couldn't even tell you. Oh, honestly.
Understandable. Y'all got some options up there. I think for us, I have no idea what we're gonna do. I've been looking at so many different mocks. I seen wide receivers go in a bunch of mocks, but then I'm like, we never
Yeah, I
vet
don't. Yeah,
receivers,
you never do it.
so I don't want to trust those. And I seen linebackers. I seen defensive linemen. But what I think we need to do, if there's somebody on the board, is go corner. And I've been seeing. I said it in the chat earlier. Every mock I have, every single one has the Bills right after it's taken Asante Samuel Jr. So I don't understand why we don't just go and get him. Now we have somebody on the opposite side of Jair because we've seen what happened with Kevin King in the NFC Championship. We have to get better at corner.
Kevin King.
Yeah. And I will say, we've been giving Kevin King a hard time. He hasn't been that bad. He just picked a horrible day to
He's
have
just
a
a
worst game.
clear weakness. Like if somebody's gonna like out of all your second anybody on your defense, if you're gonna exploit somebody, it's gonna be Kevin King.
Sad to say, but there's always that one person on defense though for any team.
Like I said, I think he chose a very bad time to have probably the worst game of his career.
I've never seen him play that bad. Wasn't he the one who played best tandem? Didn't he say that?
He did, and he was playing well at that point, and then he's just slowly injuries. He can't stay on the field, but I mean, he's a ball.
Bucks was hot.
He leads the league, leads the team in interceptions every year, but he gets burned sometimes. He picked a bad time to have a bad game, but we can't keep him as the other corner starter. It is what it is. Jay, can you give us your mock 1 through 10 real quick?
Yeah, all right. 1 was Trevor Lawrence. Of course, everyone knows that one.
Absolutely.
Honestly, like I was looking at like Zach Wilson. I honestly think the Jets would go him, but they could easily go Justin Fields. But I got them going Zach Wilson, but I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Fields went there. So I had Wilson there. This is where it gets tricky. San Fran, I got taking Trey Lance. I don't think they moved up for Mac Jones. Like, there's just no way possible. I mean, not saying that Mac is not good, but I just don't see the fit, honestly. 4, I got us taking Kyle Pitts. May go old tackle, though, but that's they would call it a sexy pick. It's Kyle Pitts. 5, I got Sewell going to Cincy. Chase going to the Dolphins at 6. 7, I got Waddle. They got to go receiver. That's where it gets interesting because Panthers are at 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could go tackle. They didn't go offense all last year. They went all defense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say they go with – this is where I got – because they could go any way. And if there's a quarterback there, they may want a quarterback even though they got Sam Darnold, but he's still in his rookie deal. If he don't work out, they could take someone else. At 8, I'm going to have Carolina take Rashawn Slater to tackle. Protect Sam Darnold. If you're going to be the guy, or they can just go get another quarterback. But to get a quarterback, that means you still got to protect them. So I'm going to go Slater at 8. At 9, honestly, I think Denver may go Micah Parsons, even though they don't want to probably take him. For some reason, like linebackers get a bad rap about going early in the draft, but he was a stud. I could see Parsons going 9 and Dallas going Surtain at 10.
You only have 3 quarterbacks going in the top 10.
Yeah. If Mac don't go in, if it's yeah. Oh shit, I forgot Fields, bro. I didn't even think about that. It's crazy because if Mac Jones don't go, Fields got to go to Carolina if he's there.
He said no trades, but if whatever quarterback is left out of that top 3, those other 2 quarterbacks,
I can see.
It's going to be teams
trading up. Coming up.
New England
coming up to get.
I didn't say no. I said no trades just for the purpose.
Oh, for me, okay.
Oh, honestly, so scratch that at 8. I'm gonna go Fields to Carolina. I'll still go Parsons to Denver, Surtain to Dallas without trades. But I could easily see Justin Fields going to San Fran and us taking a quarterback. Like, it's just it's more smoke than we throw in our league, honestly.
It's really hard to figure out what's gonna happen trade wise. So you have Wilson to the Jets, Lance to San Francisco, and then Fields to Carolina. So of those four, which of them is gonna play meaningful snaps this year? I mean, of course, Trevor Lawrence is gonna be in early. I guess Zach Wilson probably would have to get in pretty early. Does Lance get a lot of snaps early with San Francisco? And what about Fields with Carolina? Because they just traded for.
Honestly, I think Lance is probably be the one that probably won't get snaps right away because he's going to be the future. He didn't play last year. Competition, they get a lot of rap too about being at North Dakota and all that. Mm-hmm. He may not play right away. Depends on how he produces in camp too. Wilson too. I mean, BYU didn't play no top dogs either. So you got to be careful with that too. I'm going to say Trey Lance doesn't play right away.
So I think, of course, we're going to say Trevor Lawrence is going to have the most impact with the Jags. But of the other quarterbacks that will likely get drafted in the top 10, top 15, who has the next most impact on whatever team that they end up with this year, do you think?
Whoever the 49ers get.
He just said Trey Lance. He said Trey Lance probably not going to play immediately. So
I mean, as if they go Trey Lance, I mean, I just them because they're the only team in the top 10 that's win ready. They just year before last, they was in the Super Bowl. They had a whole bunch of injuries last year. They traded up. What pick did they have? What pick they trade up from?
12, I believe it was.
From what?
49ers?
Yeah.
I think they didn't make it. They were at like 12.
They were at like 12?
Yeah.
Well, all the injuries they had, regardless what quarterback they get, they're the only team that's win ready, and it's gonna be based off the quarterback.
And they get their dogs back too.
That's what they're missing. Say that again.
They get their dogs back too.
Yeah, they're back healthy. They get all their dogs back. I think they're missing a corner though, because Sherman a free agent, but he's on the back end of his career anyway. But I mean, besides that,
who has the best chance of winning this year? I would assume you're going to say whoever ends up in San Francisco because they got the best pieces around. Even though Trevor Lawrence is the best.
You talking about out of all of the quarterbacks that's taken in the first 10?
Yeah.
Who has the best chance of winning?
Yeah. If they start, based on their environment, their situation, who has the best chance to win now?
Where did he have Fields going? Did you have the Broncos getting a quarterback?
They said Broncos take Parsons.
Oh, Parsons. I would honestly probably the Jags. I don't know. Jets stink. Pats are gonna do something. Bills are gonna do something. I don't even know who's that fourth team in that division. You got Bills, Pats, Jets,
Dolphins.
Dolphins Jets all set. They ain't winning nothing. Jags got us, Colts, and Houston. They might get 2 wins out of Houston. They don't stink. They get Cortland Sutton back. Besides the 49ers, I say the Jags.
I think if Carolina wasn't in such a tough division, I think they're slowly putting pieces together, and I think they got 2 decent receivers because I know they lost Samuel, but they still have Robbie.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. You got McCaffrey coming back. I think that's a pretty good environment for a rookie. But I don't think whoever goes there is probably going to start because they just traded for Darnold. So they'll probably ease whoever that is. And so, I mean, I guess realistically, we're not expecting to see many of those quarterbacks play meaningful snaps this year other than Trevor Lawrence, really.
I mean, if Zach Wilson goes to whoever goes to, they don't have a quarterback, so they're not going to play meaningful football, but they're going to be playing. You never know what Herbert did last year.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know. And then Tua played meaningful football when he didn't get pulled. So, I mean, nobody – I ain't going to say nobody. Dolphins fans expected him to be good, but they went 10-6, so Tua played some meaningful football.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, besides the 49ers, because they have the defense like the Dolphins do, or I should say the Dolphins have a defense like the 49ers do, but you know what I'm saying. Besides that, Trevor Lawrence, just because our division is at best compared to NFL. I mean, we're a team trying to get over the hump. Colts are a team trying to get over the hump. Texans, they're either going to win 4 games or 1 game this year, depending if D-Watt plays. Besides that, I really don't know. It depends. Honestly, you got to ask when this draft. I really don't know how this draft going to go. If we going based off J, I'm bugging. Yeah, if we going off based what J.A. said, I'd probably say Trevor Lawrence and whoever the 49ers get. Other than that, it's up in the air. This draft is wild. I really think 4 quarterbacks can go in the top 8.
Definitely good.
It could happen. Like,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
8 is being generous because I think first 3 are going to be. So I did a mock and I had the Broncos trading up to 4.
Yeah, so I think they will. Broncos
I had the Broncos trading up
without trades. Yeah.
Without trade is hard, but Broncos if you look at the Broncos roster, they are a competent quarterback from doing some damage in the AFC.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, they got the weapons.
Jerry Jeudy just spent his whole rookie year as a wide receiver 1. Sutton's about to come back, and Judy's about to be the wide receiver 2. Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon. The O-line was the best we've seen in the last 10 years from them. And their defense was still, with all the injuries that they had, their defense was still middle of the pack. So I think the Broncos trade up with the Falcons. And I still got the Falcons getting Pitts, even though I don't like tight ends going in the first round. But he's not a tight end.
Yeah, so that's all hypotheticals. We could be very wrong. We could be right. We'll see on Thursday. Next week, we'll come back and analyze what we got right, analyze what we got wrong, and then we'll be able to say, based on where everybody actually ends up, who's actually going to have the impacts. I think we covered everything that we set out to cover. Hopefully, your boy Moose is all right. This is the second.
That's 2 weeks in a row, right?
Zoom, huh? What did you say?
That's 2 weeks in a row, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The second week back-to-back that he's missing in action. So,
but free.
Just make sure y'all give him the same energy y'all gave me when I was sick, because he don't got no doctors, no nothing. He don't got nothing.
You wasn't sick, Chief.
I have doctors. No, I still got the medicine in my medicine cabinet, dog. I was sick.
Should be expired by now, bro.
Black people don't throw that stuff away. I ain't worried about that.
Clean your medicine cabinet, bro. You know what I always say.
Yeah, unless y'all got any shout-outs, then we can end it here.
It's a couple of boxing matches.
Man.
Yo,
stop doing boxing, bro. We talk football, bro.
Yo, Jay, you really split the whole epi on Madden, bro.
No, I'm here, bro. At least ain't here, bro. I was a conflict of schedule, bro. I'm here.
This guy is crazy.
But yeah,
I didn't mean for it to happen like this, bro. But yeah, I'll be here next week, man. Talk draft. Matter of fact, the weekend I'll probably do some draft recap.
Yeah, maybe we'll
probably go live again.
Maybe we'll just record some videos, post them on the page, and just tell you.
I'm off this weekend, so
we'll definitely get some instant reaction at least to round 1. We'll give some thoughts on that, and then
Jay can talk money, Chief. Let me talk some draft. Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. I'm around.
Sounds good.
Oh, God. Might be at the bar, but I'll make it happen. I'll bring AirPods or something.
We don't need drunk cheese.
For real.
I might end up ICU cheese again. Oh, funny.
Man, I wish people understood what that means. You know?
They don't need to know, man. Don't post that.
Really like an ICU.
I want to post it with them, but I don't want to just post it with a person.
Yeah. You know, cheese and hippo though.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, man. Tighten
we will catch y'all next week. Check out the page. It'll be stuff up there as the draft goes on. Just give me your opinions, thoughts. And that's that. We will catch y'all next week. League with no name.
Best running back in the league, Jay.